green revolution. With this technique here in the 6th and the 7th decade of the last century, a record-break food production takes place. Record-break food production in the 6th, 7th decade. In 1963, wheat production started, and in 1967, rice production started. Here the record-break production when it takes place in this decade, we are calling that record-break production of food grains in that decade by using different varieties is called as green revolution. Green revolution. We'll come to know here that activity is done in India by Dr. Swaminathan. Dr. Swaminathan did that job by introducing semi-dwarf varieties. Semi-dwarf varieties. Semi-dwarf varieties of wheat as well as rice. Where from these varieties are introduced, semi-dwarf varieties for wheat were introduced from Mexico. And for rice, that were introduced from IRRI, International Rice Research Institute, Philippines, and Wheat and the Maize Research Institute, Mexico. Semi-dwarf varieties were developed earlier by Norman Borlaug, a Nobel laureate. This fellow developed semi-dwarf high-yielding varieties of wheat, and these varieties were introduced in India. The name of that varieties is Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. These two semi-dwarf varieties were brought into India, introduced in India by Dr. Swaminathan, which were already developed by Norman Borlaug in Mexico, and later these are crossbreed with Indian varieties, and number of here the Lerma Rojo, Sonora 64, Lerma Rojo 64A, Sharbati, Sonera. Such types of varieties of wheat were generated, and because of this here what resulted, a record-break production was from 11 million tons of dry wheat to here the 75 million tons of wheat grain production takes place. Likewise, here the rice plant, which was semi-dwarf rice varieties from the IARI, these were introduced. Here these IR8 a variety, and here Taichung A. Here Taichung variety, IR8 variety, in between these two, here in between these two variety crossing where it takes place, and semi-dwarf rice varieties were generated, and these varieties are introduced in India, and production of Jaya and Ratna, such varieties were generated. These are high yielding as well as here disease resistant semi-dwarf varieties. Laterally here Vijaya, Padma, such varieties were laterally generated. And because of this introduction of these varieties, what happens in rice, how much record break production of food takes place? Earlier it was 35 million tons of food were there. Laterally that were produced here, and that production raised up to 89.5 million tons of food grains of rice. Rice production takes place. This record break of the rice production, record break of the wheat production is called as Green Revolution, that started in 63 about for the wheat and 67 rice, and such a huge record break production takes place in these two staple crop, and here what we are saying, the Green Revolution takes place. Besides this, not only these plants, these are here showing the record break production, but also other plants are also there. The plants like sugarcane, a cash crop, and the millets are also there. We'll see about them. This cash crop here is a tropical, sugarcane actually is a tropical variety. The name of that variety is Saccharum officinarum. That one is cultivated in South India. The varieties specific for the high production and sugar content. But the negative point is this is susceptible to diseases when planted in North India. One more variety is there, that one is Saccharum barbaris. That one is grown in North India. That one is superior here. For what superiority? Superior here is this is resistant to diseases. But inferior in less production as well as less sugar content. Such two varieties, Saccharum officinarum and Saccharum barbaris, were crossed here. These were crossed here at Sugarcane Research Institute, Coimbatore. And new varieties were generated. Coimbatore 419, Coimbatore 421, Coimbatore 453, Coimbatore 205. Such a different varieties were released, and these varieties later here grown in the northern India. Here what happens in northern Indian rice, northern Indian sugar crop, they produces high sugar cane production and containing high sugar content, and that one is here superior to resistant to disease. Both the characters gets combined here, and these inferior characters are removed out. Such a new variety is generated, and these variety is here is utilized, or what we are calling is cultivated in the area of the northern India. Millets are there. Millets. We know very well. Millets are the small grains. Millets are the small grains of cereals, of the grasses. It's a collective word used to small sized grains of the grasses. For example, the jowar, bajra. These are also the staple crops. And these staple crops are further undergone with the help of 5 different plant breeding steps, and new varieties of jowar, bajra as well as the maize were generated, and these are deployed in the field to produce huge amount of production. This is what the enhancement, this is what the changes, this is what the increase in food production is proceeded. The food production not only is a single goal, but also the generated plants should not undergo or should not fall to the diseases. These should be free from diseases and insect pests. For this reason, here we are doing another type of plant breeding activity. Selection takes place, and what the plant, disease resistant plant, insect resistant plants are selected, and insect resistant plants are developed, which are laterally introduced for maintaining the crop production.